Hey guys, Sirak here. Today we'll be doing an overview of one of my Lord of the Rings maps, the Battle for Middle-earth. More specifically, the Gondor overview. In my previous videos, you can learn about the major guidelines of the map, Mordor, the Elves, the Goblins, Rohan, and Isengard overviews. In this video, I will be focusing on Player 6, Gondor. At the start, Gondor has their town center nearly to the bottom of the map, a little bit to the center in Minas Tirith. Minas Tirith also holds the siege workshop for Gondor, as well as Denethor and Baragon. They're two heroes. To the north of Minas Tirith, you can actually find the beacons of Gondor leading to Rohan and Dunharrow. To the west, you can find the city of Dol Amroth, which also houses the Prince Imrahil, as well as the Swan Knight, or the Knights of Dol Amroth. Sorry. As well, you can see that the city is actually blocked off and will be opened at minute 16. To the south of Minas Tirith, you can find Peligir, which is another of their coastal cities and main dock of Gondor. Between Peligir and Dol Amroth, you can actually find the island of Tolfalas. I'll come back to Tolfalas in a minute. But to the east of Minas Tirith, you can find the ruins of Osgiliath, as well as the Dome of Stars. The ruined city of Osgiliath is the only thing that stands between Mordor and the city of Minas Tirith. So basically, this will be Gondor's main focus to defend, especially against the forces of the Mordor army. To the north of Osgiliath and to the west of Rohan, we'll actually go ahead and find the of the island of Caer Andros. And lastly, to the east of Caer Andros, you'll actually go ahead and find Anith Anun, also known as the Forbidden Pool, which usually contains a Faramir. For the heroes of Gondor, you'll actually have quite a few, and they're going to be some of the most important in the game. And as such, they should be well guarded. We'll start with Denethor and Baragon in Sidith. We are. And Faramir should be down. So Faramir in the Forbidden Pool, Prince Imrahil in Dol Amroth, and then in Rivendell you can also find Frodo, Sam, Aragorn, or Strider at this point, Boromir, and Gandalf the Grey. So should Denethor die, he'll actually give quite a bit of gold to the entire enemy team. And as useless as he is, you'll want to keep him alive. Baragon gives you the ability to actually have tower guards if you research the correct technologies, and I'll come back to that one. The same goes for Prince Imrahil, but with Knights of Dol Amroth instead of tower guards. Faramir gives Mordor one of their HP buffs, and is also needed to get Rangers. Now should Boromir die, Lurtz will actually get a significant power buff and become quite deadly. If Sam dies, Frodo will get much weaker, and if Frodo dies, the entire evil team will get an enormous HP boost to all of their units. So if possible, keep Frodo safe at any cost. And lastly, if Aragorn dies, a lot of his heroes, and ally heroes as well, will lose a lot of stats, and will also buff the Nazguls quite a bit. And without Aragorn, you'll also lose the ability to do any fellowship quests. Now for the spawns that Gondor gets, and they do have quite a few, so we'll start with the easier ones. And they get the Dunedains from Bree. So in here, once Rivendell opens, you can actually go ahead and send Aragorn as well as the 4 hobbits. So you'll want to bring Frodo, Sam, as well as Merry and Pippin from Rohan to Bree. So as long as the Prancing Pony is alive, you will get Dunedain and Bree. For the next spawn, you'll actually need to research Paladin and keep the Prince Imrahil in Dol Amroth to get the Knights of Dol Amroth. For the next set of spawns, there's a prerequisite quest that you must do before the other conditions can be met. So you have to bring Faramir and Boromir, so the brothers, and you can see that one of them starts in Rivendell, the other one starts in the Ithilien, but you'll have to bring both of them to the Dome of Stars. So far as you can see, Faramir is already here. And once that's done, not only will the Dome of Stars actually get stronger, as will the brothers, but you'll actually have to go ahead and bring Faramir back to the pool so that he can make rangers. So as long as Faramir and the pool are alive, you'll actually get some rangers in the Forbidden Pool. You can also research Conscription and Elite Teutonic Knight to start the Tower Guard spawn in Nistidith. Some of the other quests available to Gondor, and the most important ones, and yet the most difficult to do, is to bring Frodo to Mount Doom. So ultimately, that's the main quest for the entire Fellowship, is to bring Frodo all the way down Mount Doom, so somewhere over here. If you accomplish that, you'll destroy all the buildings in Mordor, save for Barad-dûr, which will keep standing at 1,000 HP, and you'll be able to go ahead and easily take them out. As with the elves, if you actually build an outpost on the flag of Tol Falas, so you see there's an orange flag, but technically there's a flag for each of the players, you'll actually be able to go ahead and convert the fortress on the top to help you guard the seas. Now you have to be aware, because the evil men can also claim city, which will actually hinder you as well, depending on who has the city, and if ships are an important part of your strategy. If you're able to get Sam to Cirith Ungol, he'll actually open the gate quite silently. So I'll just take a peek here. So if you actually bring Sam right here to the Cirith Ungol, this gate here disappears, so that you have an easy access to Mount Doom and to sneak Frodo inside. As long as Pelargir and Dol Amroth are standing, they will automatically sending tributes, although it's mostly food, to Gondor. And then once the Fellowship actually gets started, one of the hidden quests are if you actually bring Frodo and Gandalf to the Gate of Moria, Frodo will actually go ahead and remove the gate by speaking the password. If they end up killing Durin's Bane, which is the Balrog, Gandalf becomes quite a bit stronger and becomes Gandalf the White. And then if you bring Gandalf and Pippin to Minas Tirith, Pippin will become a Tower Guard and convert to the Gondor player. Now, having said that, if the Mordor player also has 20 raises when Pippin and Gandalf are in Minas Tirith, they will also light the beacons of Gondor. That's how you kind of get the beacons to be lit. As you can see, Gondor has most of the Fellowship quests just because of the heroes, and as with some of the others, you'll actually require the other players to help complete some of these quests. Just like how Frodo gets the password to open Moria, you can as well. So if you make it through the perilous journey of Moria, you'll actually have done a major shortcut to get to Lothlorien. And hopefully so will the rest of the Fellowship, which brings me to the next Fellowship quest. So you need Aragorn, Sam, Frodo, Boromir, alongside with Merry and Pippin, Galadriel, Legolas, and Gimli to go ahead and Lothlorien. That you can go ahead and get the cloaks and basically a major buff on the entire Fellowship at this point. Another quest that you can do is to bring Aragorn to Helm's Deep alongside Legolas, Haldir, Gimli, Theoden, Gamling, all to the Hornburg, which is right here. And they will actually go ahead and have the elves come in to help Helm's Deep. So 1 hour game time after Aragorn does the Bree Dunedain quest, a notification will pop up saying that you should bring Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and Elrond to Dunharrow in Rohan. And once the party has been gathered there, the Pass of the Dead will open. So bring them here, the paths here will open, granting you access to the Army of the Dead. So then once Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas go through the paths, so you basically just get close to the dead, these wonderful undead become yours. Of course, they're, as you can see, they're quite a powerful force that can make very quick work of most armies. And only after the Army of the Dead has been claimed that you can do the final quest, which is to bring Aragon in front of the Black Gate, right about here, so that you can buff all the friendly units in front of the Black Gate to ridiculous amounts to go ahead and assault the Fortress of Barad-dûr and Mordor. So for the HP buffs for Gondor, you'll have to almost be everywhere to get them, as you can possibly imagine. You can clear the Bear Downs, so if you actually end up clearing the castles here in the Bear Downs, you will end up getting an HP buff. You can also destroy Monomarth, is the Eagle Warrior down here, the lieutenant that resides in Angmar, to gain another. That one is amazingly great because if you do manage to beat Angmar, the path behind it that leads right into the Goblin base, and what I've seen, is completely unguarded most of the time. And if you actually destroy the castles in Umbar, so orange, so if you kill the Umbar castles here, you'll actually gain another HP. Lastly, if you're able to kill Gothmog somewhere at the Woad Raiders for red, you'll be able to go ahead and gain another HP buff for your entire army, and as well as the Witch King. So Gondor has the second highest amount of buff possible, right after Mordor. So of course, the main strategy for Gondor is to hold the positions in where they're at. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you're holding Osgiliath, you want to hold Cair-Andros, and you want to hold a little bit on the sea just to kind of make sure that there's no surprises coming from the sea from the Evil Men's player. And Gondor is well equipped to do basically keep most of the rest of the armies away with their tanky paladins and their elite Teutonic knights, as well as their siege onagers. One of the most underused units that can be quite useful are the Teutonic monks. They're actually quite a nice way to go ahead and disrupt their enemy forces, whether it be elephants, whether it be other siege onagers. You're able to make sure that Rohan is safe. They should actually be able to go ahead and push into Isengard, and you can send any extra units along that way before you go ahead and help with the rest of the forces on them. You can also use the rest of the map to kind of cause a distraction to go ahead and sneak Frodo into Mount Doom. As if Frodo actually does make it to Mount Doom, Mordor player is pretty much out of the game. And you can even go the complete other way, so you can go through Dol Amroth and follow the coast of Gondor, all the way to the elves and dwarves on the west side of the map, to go ahead and help them with clearing forces in Isengard, or even assault Angmar. So Gondor's main strategy is to be the shield that protects the west of the map against the forces of evil, while Isengard is being assaulted. Because, as you can see from my previous videos, Isengard is basically standing alone on the west side of the map, while everybody else is on the east side of the map, with very limited support from its other players. So I think that's it for Gondor, and I'll see you next time with the overview on the Evil Men.